Good day, good evening, wherever you are. It's been a while since I came back. I'm Emma. I'm actually having a little issue right now. um, I want to tell everyone and give everyone an idea of how I love myself. See, first, I'll let you know that I am with the pushing a button by myself and making of a choosing of life. I want an abundant life. I want a life of love and of joy, but mostly of a peace. And I made a decision to be happy. Always be happy, no matter what are the circumstances with my position. Well, I've had many things happen to me recently that has made me go back to the self-love love letter that I wrote for myself about 3 years ago when I first decided that I truly wanted to be happy. See, I was in a position where I was catfished by a group of people who made me think that I would be in a position of helping mankind and helping the people get out of the circumstances they were in the guard of the different things that were going around the world at the time. Back in 2016, I had a very rough time and I didn't know why. And then in 2017, I made a decision to go to Huntsville, Alabama to press charges against my aunts, specifically one individual who is linked with the other two. But my knowledge of my findings is with their nefarious activities causing bodily harm and death to my father. And I found out that my aunts, were individuals who like to take the life of others who are not fortunate enough to have good health. They prey on elderly people, and then they started preying on me. I know why. It's because I was left a trust fund when I was a child. I had several trust funds. My uncle told me I had 5 and that he couldn't find them. My family on both sides, I am with the knowing, are very evil with the activities of the make they do with crafting spells and witchcraft. See, I was born in Biloxi, Mississippi, in Keesler Air Force Base. And at the time I was born, there were many of the teachings of the magic, special of the voodoo. And I was taught by an elderly lady who took care of me. But I didn't use these things, for I am not of the evil and casting spells against people for the making of harm. I put that knowledge on the side. But then in 2017, I realized that I had to make a stand and stop them from harming elderly people. But when I did, I was met with a big surprise. Not one of the officers, police, sheriff, or even the DA, including the FBI, did anything to take these people off the streets, for they are a menace of the society and are with enjoyment of stealing the inheritances of children's not belonging to them. I have the evidence and the proof that they did all these things. And most recently, I had a visit to the location where I was working. She didn't think that I noticed who she was. She didn't think that I would recognize her by her thinking that I didn't have a picture of her or that I didn't have the knowledge of what they looked like. So at the time, my employer was stealing my money from my pay and my tips. Specifically, even though he was trying to be a generous man, helping me out, after I gave him collateral, he gave me some money to find a new place to live. He made it so that I had nothing left for 3 months. I haven't been eating much or taking care of myself very much. Be the cause of me making payments for rent, for gas, and utilities, and him taking money off my paycheck to pay him back. I didn't make much money a month, but I had enough to sustain myself until he started doing those things by making his own arrangements of getting payback from me. Even though I was his employer, I'm a very good employee, a very hard worker, he put me in a position where I had no money left at all to take care of myself, except for paying my rent. And the thing is, the man that I rented the place from made promises to me, but then refused to give me a lease. Then he went back on his word after placing me in a place that caused me harm. He intentionally did it, thinking that I was a dumb blonde, and that he could get away with it. I'm living in a house that's condemned. This is where I am. I make it a point to stay only in 2 rooms and the bathroom by the cause of the massive amount of mold that's in the house. Not only that, when I first came in the place, the air conditioning was on full blast. It was freezing in here. And I couldn't understand why it was on, seeing that no one was living here. But then when I moved in 3 days later, after he told me he cleaned the place up, I turned the air conditioning off. And a week and a half later, I had a massive flea infestation. I haven't eradicated them all because of the eggs hatching at their own speed. But I did ask him permission to remove the carpet in the house. When he agreed, I removed the carpets to my own detriment because of even wearing a mask. I still have respiratory problems at this time. He has now decided that he thinks that he's responsible for me, and he tells me today that he's not going to support me. I never gave him the opportunity to support me because I pay my rent and I pay my bills always. I've had many things happen to me on my journey since I left Canada, since I came back home to Mississippi. I've had many individuals come up against me for some cause of the no knowing. But now I know why. They were all in cahoots, each one for the taking down this person, this vessel, me. They all want me dead so they could take over everything. So this is how I found out they did it. I found out how, and I'm going to make a live broadcast tomorrow afternoon and tell you all so that this will never happen to you, so that you will know how to defend yourself, so that you will know how to love yourself. I truly did believe in certain things and had faith in certain people by the cause of the words they were with usury. But it turned out to be fake and phony, each one of them. Hidden enemies. So for that cause, I want to tell you a couple of things I wrote to myself with love for the loving of myself. I said, I want to write a love letter to myself for the use of the good. I said, my inner childhood and my inner child works are a self-reflection that I need to face head on. The traumas and things of my facing during my childhood and during my life, I wanted to face them, each one head on, and reclaim my power back. And this is what I wrote in my letter to myself. I wanted to face it, and I wanted access to the situations so that I could figure out what it was I needed to help myself fix and correct with myself. So I stopped and looked at all sides, all of the four corners of my existence, and realized love is the best thing that I could do for myself. So this is what I said to self. Stand firm. Create your boundaries. Create healthy relationships. Have good tenderness and kindness of others. Treat them each one with kindness, no matter if they are causing harm to you. And if they do cause harm, turn and walk away, like they say in the Bible. I wanted to write something about love and true love. For the true love is with compassion. So I am with the true love for myself and compassion for myself. And I will exercise these options to the best of my abilities. And I will make sure that I love myself with kind words of the thinking and kindness and gratitude towards myself by giving myself little gifts. I sit in the face of them all with great motions and crying. And then I had to let it all go. I lost everything. My children, my family, everything. But that's okay, because I know God loves me. I know the great Creator Mother loves me. I know my spirit loves me. And I know that there are a couple of people in my life right now that truly love me. And for that cause, I will stand firm and love myself. I'll be back in a moment for part 2.